Holy crap, I'm late. That is my bad. Oh wait, I'm so late. I haven't even set up like anything. My OBS is so messed up for this right now. Okay, that should be audio. Oh, there's no audio. Okay, just... That was the wrong thing. There we go. No, not Puzzle League. Any matches here? I might be able to catch a round 3 here. Let's turn up my mic. I was just rewatching some Carbuncles corners earlier, and I was quiet. You could barely hear me. We need to change that. We're gonna change that. Hopefully. That's pretty hard. And come on. It's not easy to just change your talking style. Let's see if I can grab any of these. Any of these? Why can't I see it? Okay. Unfortunately, I don't know. Oh, there's a room here. Oh, uh-oh. That's fun. I love that. Okay, it is here. Okay. Good. I caught a match. Thank goodness. Okay, now I'm in a game I can relax and catch up on everything that's happening. I have like 20 pings to look at. This is crazy. I made a whoopsie doopsie and forgot, despite committing and saying, yeah, I can make it, I forgot. Quite unfortunate. But I'd not miss the brackets at least. And I still get to stream at least one of these. That's cool, right? A game about to start. Alright, here we go. Free Mecha versus Seawill. I just clicked on this randomly because I'm jumping right in here. I've fought Seawill before. They're a solid player. I do not know anything about Free Mecha's gameplay. So I guess this would be... Yeah, they're rocking a nice little GTR here. They have a very nice flat tail here too. This wouldn't be chaining. Ooh, goes for a quick attack. Seawill is not out of this though. That's a pretty easy dig. Decides to go immediately for the dig. Free Mecha has a pretty open, like, a lot of potential with that. Not getting the right pieces though. Seawill's faster setting off the main chain. Paid off. Free Mecha just wasn't ready to set off what they had. Seemed like they were relying too many on perfect pieces there. Definitely something you want to avoid. Free Mecha going for the same style of tail they did last time. If you notice, it's a flat sandwich with the more like Puyos get like staggered on top in a way that makes it really flat and easy. Really, there's a lot of potential to extend it, and you can still play around with harassments on it too. Seagull sets off a smaller chain here. Free Mecha is ready though. They've got some power to their chain, gives them a powerful chain there. Takes out Seagull's 7.
That wasn't sweet, so I won.
Oh no. Wait. Oh. What the? Oh, I paused. Never mind. Don't mind me. Just, getting unnecessarily confused. Okay. Free Mecha's a little... doing some little attacks here. I like seeing that. Aggressive playstyles are fun, but they're also able to keep their chains in a well-maintained state. He's able to set off this solid chain here, but Seagull does not get the blue they need. Despite having a pretty clear chain advantage there, they just didn't have the pieces there to set it off. I haven't really been looking at Seagull's chaining style. He seemed to be doing some kind of... you know? I don't know how to describe this chain form. It's looking real tough to set that off though. I mean, I see the path, but like, it's very abstract. I'm able to set it off with these two perfect pieces here. See, there's like this weird path from these greens, these yellows that just connect the rest of the chain in a very interesting way. It's a power 9 into a 10. Free Mecha is able to barely set off their chain. Oh, but their chain cuts in many places, unfortunately. Power of the chain significantly reduced there, and Seagull takes the round. Oh shoot! Wait, I named the stream wrong. This is a mess. Okay, so pretend that didn't happen, and now the name is correct. I feel like I just like dropped into like a party. Okay, not many attacks going in right now. In fact, Free Mecha being definitely a lot more aggressive earlier. Sets off a full chain. A really clean and strong tail here. Yeah, just a 13. Probably the right play, because Seagull doesn't have any greens there, and that just denies their tail of working. Free Mecha winning simply by setting off a big chain that Seagull can't compete with.
So I won.
Oh, doing that again. This has been a very interesting set so far. Free Mecha is a really good chainer, but definitely is making some mistakes, I'd say. But they also like harassing, which is able to make up. But yeah, like this power 2 right here will just covered up their main chain,
So I won.
so it just wasn't able to work. Seagull with what seems to be double GTR base there. Free Mecha also with a GTR, but it's just a I mean, yeah, both are GTR. Looks like Seagull is setting up for harassment here. Looks like they're going for a power 2? No? decides to not go for that. Instead extending off of it. Is getting destroyed by these one chains. Oh, gets a... Oh, I don't know why Free Mecha tanked that. They had the piece to set off at least something. I don't think Sibo's chain was in a very good spot. I just noticed a lot of harassment opportunities that they were, instead of harassing, they were building onto their chain. That's definitely a sign of a weak chain. Or just, there's a problem with your chain. When you're just building off of it from a lot of pieces. Ooh, we got a power 2 from Free Mecha. Ooh, into a solid... Oh! Too bad those purples cut there. Sibo almost recovered that. Free Mecha got a little confident in their attack, going immediately for their full chain. Sibo definitely, if they didn't mess up those purples, they would have had that dig easy. A few one chains here. Free Mecha wants a purple for this harassment, but just spent too much on this harassment, and Sibo, I guess Sibo had to have noticed it because they just set off their full chain. Free Mecha just in no position to build off of it. Like I said earlier about Free Mecha's chaining mistakes, they got a 13 chain earlier, so Free Mecha knows how to chain. But yeah, they are susceptible to mistakes. I mean, oh, is there a green? No, there isn't. Yeah, I mean, I think Free Mecha is just going a little overboard with some of these chaining ideas. Like right there, they just cornered themselves. Oh, we got an all clear start. Is not going for... Neither players are going for a counter setup. Let's see how this turns out. Free Mecha goes for a 3-chain rush here. Sibo simply responds with their all clear bonus. Free Mecha struggling with their transition here. And that's just an awkward amount of pieces that's needed. Gonna need a purple with a blue on top. Going for a lot of different interesting choices. You know, Sibo gets some kind of dig here. Free Mecha does manage to get their chain off, which does out-chain by a pretty good amount. Free Mecha also with a clean counter ready, or an extra chain with their transition. Brings it to match point. And not much action this round. Free Mecha was going for some nice 2-chain doubles earlier on. Oh. You know, I just noticed this about Free Mecha. They are committing to harassments that they just can't get down. They spend a lot of resources going for harassment. But then the opponent just sets off their chain. In this case, Free Mecha's chain was plenty for Seawell, but
So I won.
there's definitely one round where Free Mecha was trying to get a power 2 chain to quickly attack, but they weren't getting the right pieces. They were spending way too many resources trying to get it, and Seawell just set off their chain and left Free Mecha in a really bad spot. A nice round though. I mean, despite Free Mecha's chaining advantage, Seawell still stood a good chance because Free Mecha just, I really don't know how to explain what they're doing wrong. All I can say is that their chaining was definitely a little flawed in some kind of way. Bracket 3s are making a close. Or round robin 3s, part 3s, yeah. Concluding now. So I've seen brackets soon. Seems to be a bit of an intermission right now. Unfortunately, because I did stream late, it didn't get into the announcement, so viewership's gonna be pretty low on the stream for a little bit, which is fair. I mean, this is currently what you're seeing. Hopefully during brackets that changes. So for the brackets, I'll be either streaming gold or ruby bracket. Totally depends on whether gold or ruby is happening, but either one I'll be streaming. Gaming! For real. Funny story, I almost forgot that Carbuncles Corner is even happening, and as an official streamer of this event, yippee, your streamer almost forgot. But it's fine, hopefully. Definitely, should not do this in the future. At least I will get down to brackets. Welcome to the stream. We just had pools are concluding now. Seems to be what's happening in yeah, okay. Pools round 3 is now over. I guess brackets. Oh, there's a gold bracket. I guess that's what I will be streaming. Gold bracket's a pretty it's a pretty scary bracket to stream, just because, like, for my skill level in Puyo, I don't think I quite match up to what generally players in gold bracket get to. So it gets really hard to commentate because they do lots of skills that I'm just less familiar with, so it gets a lot harder for me to like point out stuff that I think is important, because I'm like, also learning that that's a thing. Yeah, I gotta study the strats, and then I'll beat every player in gold bracket because I'll just know exactly how they play. The classic exciting stream where I'm waiting for games to happen. Looks like gold bracket's currently getting seeded. I guess this is my chance to take a look at a game to stream. There's only one game happening, so I'll go ahead, butt in. Shout out to Water, by the way. Oh, okay. No, stop. I'm getting pinged all over the place. I should really not do that. I need to focus on the stream. It's just hard to focus when I just get jumped in here all of a sudden. Totally on my fault. Oh, wait. Please tell me I am streaming at the right... No! I forgot to change the frame rate to 60 on my stream. I can't just stop the stream. I can't change it in the middle either, though. FPS isn't that important in Puyo anyways. It just look a lot nicer. Oh no, I don't think I changed. Okay, good. Well, even if the bitrate was bad, it's fine. I remembered. I really need to create more OBS profiles. Since my only like real streaming experience has only really been just personal streams where I just like stream a single game I feel like streaming beforehand. Not exactly. I don't really have like much like experience, I guess. So still learning a lot of just streamer tech as I go along here. Like I need to like I just deleted like a bunch of scenes. I used to like create a scene for everything and then deleted all the scenes. I just have one scene for like most of my general OBS stuff, but now I really need to create a scene for Carbuncles Corner. It just make things a lot easier. You just click on it and click the Carbuncles Corner profile, everything will be set up and good. And alas, I think let's try this here. There's a password though. Let's guess it. Let's say 2424. Come on. Nope. I tried. I hope I didn't like preemptively. Ooh, this. Wait. Oh, that's fine. False alarm. It's all good. Alright, here we go. What is this? Gold bracket round 1. Darnell versus Neru. You know, I don't think I've gotten a good grasp of Darnell's skill. So this is exciting. I know Nero is a solid player. Okay, here we go. Ooh, okay, so Darnell is going with a GTR here. Oh, he's going for a 1-1-2 sandwich. I have a big time. Okay, but I was just saying. I got a little distracted. Yeah, Nero is going for not GTR. If this is a form that has a name, I do not know the name. But they're rocking it. They have a nice path here with their chain. Kind of like... Yeah, that's... I'm just in shock. That's a really nice chain. Not many attacks here, just kind of two chains being set off. Darnell built the superior chain here. And well, when it comes to just a chain battle like this, I mean, this is the only real outcome that can happen. I mean, just build a better chain. Not really anything stopping you if both players just set off their chain. Can't tell. I generally don't like it when that happens. It just makes for boring games, in my opinion. See, like this. Darnell's going for this power 2 chain. Nero was really put on their feet there. Had to set off their 3 chain they had there. Darnell has their transition nice and ready. So for this attack that Nero has, Darnell is ready. I was about to mention those yellows, but that is, their chain does not around those. Nice clean tail here. Oh, never mind, that purple really hurt that tail, but Nero isn't ready. Nero put on some pressure they could not afford. Which, that was a lot of pressure. That was a lot of their... just a lot of pieces in that attack. Just makes it really hard to... I had to come back, rebuild. Nero with this interesting chain form again. I definitely noticed them using this pattern. I know it's the same general pattern, but again, this is not something you see all the time. This is a different chain form. Darnell with classic GTR on the other hand. Nero with a... if Nero just fixed the chain up a bit to work, I would have had it over Darnell. Darnell's chain cut really poorly there, but Nero's chain got set off just in time for Darnell's chain to land. Nero with this interesting chain form again. Seems to be... well, actually, this is not the same chain form. Definitely has a similar idea of like these 3 wide Puyo thing, Puyo column sections. A nice extension from Darnell there under the pressure of Nero's sending chain. Be able to get a nice extension out here, which is definitely out-chaining Nero here. Nero unable to build a response in time. It's taken out. Oh, I don't have chat out. Whoops. Yo, Wrench! Sorry, that's my bad. I had chat. See, right now I only have one monitor up to look at stuff, so I have to have a tournament program here, Battlefy here, to look at the matches I'm commentating. I am commentating Puyo 2. There is this Carbuncles corner a week. It's bi-weekly, but there's enough events where it basically just kind of feels weekly. And wow, darn, I'm distracted here. I haven't been looking at this. A 13 chain from Darnell. Not the first 13 we've seen today, but impressive nonetheless. Completely takes out Nero. Darnell has a really strong chaining advantage over Nero right now. A 5-point lead. Darnell's going crazy right now. It's crazy to see this because I've fought Nero pretty recently and they sure beat me pretty hard. Ooh, Darnell just unable to get their transition finished before this harassment here. Is able to get this nice counter here. I think there is a yellow? Yeah, that gets a strong 3-chain attack here, but Nero is ready, but so is Darnell. Able to dig through even after like a harassment. Some strong gameplay here. Wow, and that tail too. Darnell is on a roll. I mean, these chains have just been really big, and they've just always been ready, despite what Nero's throwing at them. Even when Darnell goes on some attacks, even when Darnell goes on some attacks, they're still able to leave their chain open. encounters a rough part in their GTR though. Those 3 yellows can be really rough to build around, but seems like they are managing. So right now we seem to just have a little bit of a chaining battle, which is surprising, seeing Nero's chaining disadvantage here. That yellow almost cutting there, but just barely misses. Nero, again, not ready. And takes a clean 7-0. Wow, I mean, Nero definitely was playing really well, but Darnold just had this crazy chaining advantage, and they always kept their chains open and ready. And with how strong their chaining was, they were just able to take out anything Nero sent at them. Very solid match. Ooh, that's taking a while to load. Okay, I don't know how I'm gonna... I kind of had a little panic there in the middle of the thing. I saw that I didn't have chat open. I really don't know how to leave this open. I could make my tournament tab smaller, which I guess works, not like the tournament thing takes up the entire screen. I can compress my YouTube chat. Okay. I'm speaking a little bit too much here. Wow, yeah, that was rough seeing Nero getting just getting a clean sweep there. I know Nero is a great player, so Darnold is going to be a strong force here. Doesn't seem to be any other games ready. I don't just want to follow. Ooh. $5-0. Just wait till you see this. It was a 7-0. Ouchie. Rough for Nero there. What's crazy is their seating on the bracket here is just one apart, 4 to 5. Didn't want to go straight to this one, so I'm going to wait a little bit for another round. I think I'll stream this match next. I'm doing it again. I'm speaking out loud and I don't need to. Ooh, we got another exciting stream moment. It's always funny in the early rounds of the bracket. It's just a lot of waiting. Loot boxes in Puyo? What is this? A gacha game? Puyo would never do that. No. Oh, why? What are you gonna do? Unbox? What? garbage Puyo. I got the rare Comet. That's just slots? Dude. So true, and slots is peak. So true. Bring back slots. I shall advocate for slots as much as I can. If you think about party mode from the Tetris games, imagine that, but done better in every single possible way. And that's slots. I mean, to start, there's a slot machine, so we're already gambling. And that's just peak. And second, there's no Tetris. It's a perfect world. I don't think it's possible to dislike slots. You wanna know the saddest thing about slots in 20th? Can't say I've dived too deep into it. I looked through all of the versus modes one time and I couldn't find slots. So slots, as far as I'm aware of, is only possible to play against a CPU. This is the most unfortunate thing ever. What is Sega doing? They could be making stacks off of Puyo right now if the latest Puyo game just had slots. Okay, here we go. We're in round 2 of Gold Bracket right now. We've got Hiku versus Kuperi. I was interested in taking a look at this match just because, well, I haven't seen either of these players play. Both of them are definitely chaining really fast. We got two strong 2-chains here. Good play on Hiku. Instead of just taking that, they had an option to really counter that. Oh, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed here. Oh, wow. Kuperi just getting these quick, strong harassments stacked onto Hiku's board. Takes them out. This is definitely, compared to last, or, I mentioned last game. We're here for this game. Hiku consistently getting a lot of power 2-chains. I like it. Power 2s are very strong offensive choices. Oh, but Hiku getting power 2-chain themselves completely covers up any of their options that they had. They were able to set off their full chain and a harassment to the side, but taking that garbage locked them out of anything. I haven't mentioned any of these players' change forms too. Looks like Hiku has classic GTR, while Kuperi going for something else here. Can't say I know the chain form. I'm noticing a trend. I do not know these chain forms. Ooh, a strong attack from Coopberry, but Coopberry's tall build there allows them to tank it, but so does Hiku's. Hiku gets a power 3 here. Oh, actually, a power 3 into a 4. Coopberry has enough time to react here and set off an interesting chain there that works really well. Hiku, on the other hand, still ready with their chain. Oh, never mind. Missing a yellow, or it cut. Loses the round. Coopberry taking a small lead here. Coopberry definitely takes some harassments at the start of the match, I've noticed. But definitely turns it around on Hiku. Hiku not taking any chances here, goes straight for their full chain and even cuts those purples there. Their tail's going to be a little weaker than it could be. Let's see if they needed it. Oh, Coopberry not able to pull up the purple they need there to set off the rest of their tail. Hiku takes their first win. Ensuring Coopberry doesn't have a easy time there. Interesting play how generally you're at a disadvantage setting off your chain first, but Coopberry simply wasn't ready. Also, I've noticed Hiku builds their GTR in a very much just an odd way. I mean, usually GTR is built first, but Hiku definitely builds it a bit later in the chaining order. But in turn is able to get strong tails. Hiku look like they're struggling. I'm just noticing a lot of pieces that don't contribute much to the chain. Hiku goes for the full chain. Coopberry gonna need greens here, but it's just not getting them. And doesn't have enough time either to even get them. Hiku making it a lot closer here. Like to see it. Hiku still is something of a GTR, but definitely weakened by the fact that those 3 blues connect at the top of it. Oh, Hiku's reliance on those blues there. Coopberry was able to notice that. Unable to set off their full chain in time for Coopberry's a long, decisive harassment. See, Hiku building on GTR definitely a lot later in the build order. Building really flat and clean on top of that chain. This is Coopberry's chance definitely to attack. The weakness of a flat chain is just that it's a lot easier to attack. Oh, unfortunately, Coopberry here really cuts off the chain, but Hiku, something went wrong with their chain. Can't say I identified it, but it's definitely looking a bit messy. Coopberry is going to get hit hard by this harassment with how flat their chain was, but they did? Oh no, oh wow, okay. I hate to just commentate with a wow there, but I just noticed how they placed their green in the ghost row. They were able to get a little more safe with that, and now they're setting up 6 chain actually here. Ooh, but Hiku does dig down into their chain. Gets their transition. But in turn, Coopberry gets their chain off. Oh, but they don't have the red in order to get their tail activated. Definitely rough there. That was an exciting round. Just a lot of back and forth right there. We got another GTR from Hiku, a more sandwich style chain from Coopberry. A little poke there into another poke. Hiku almost punished for a greedy move. Wow. Coopberry just like setting off the chain in intervals there. Was able to attack until Hiku got their chain off. But will this pressure pay off? It looks like they were able to barely get their chain off in time. Unfortunately, it cuts their tail a little bit. And those blues don't connect? That was rough to see. They cut their tail a little bit there, and this follow-up 6. This is what I was talking about. It's really hard to follow gold bracket here. I mean, something seemingly decisive happens, and just so much other things just happen that you're just not ready to call out. Fantastic gameplay here. Hiku making a little bit of a comeback. Hiku going for a power 2, but ooh. Coopberry not ready. Power 2s are just such a basic but just strong attack that you can just pull off. Especially if you, it resolves so quickly that it's really hard to react to. You have to see the signs beforehand your opponent is setting off that attack. Cooper building tall here, not too affected by this harassment. Ooh. Didn't quite get the red they needed to offset that better. Hiku digs down to their tail. Or their main chain. Has a really strong tail. Coopberry also gets the chain off. Ooh. It did power there, but because that was the last link in the chain, the power wasn't as devastating. So unfortunately they did get outchained pretty hard there. Hiku brings us to match point. Hiku definitely behind at the start. Definitely, I find their gameplay a lot more in focusing a bit more on chaining rather than attacks. I am noticing the tail that they're building. How the purples at the back of the chain connect to the front once those blues resolve. Hiku going for an attack here. A very strong attack that... Ooh, Hiku takes out Coopberry with a strong attack there. Wow, really well played. I mean, that was really hard to follow. Lots of big chains and attacks mixed together really well. Hiku making an actual comeback here. Well played. That was a good round. Let's follow here. Those games were really fun to watch. there was a lot of just really good plays. Ooh, I shouldn't have mentioned Tetris while wrenches around. Funny thing about Tetris Attack is that it's really funny to me how Panel de Pawn is a very similar fate to Puyo Puyo. Panel de Pawn is definitely sees a worse impact from this, but both games were reskinned to look like something else that removed it from its original identity. And both games were overshadowed by Tetris. Or just infected in some way by Tetris. I choose infected as a harsh word because I'm really mean to Tetris when I can. That was the funniest thing you can send in Carbuncles Corner, by the way. If you ever stream, or if you ever spectate a match and it's Puyo versus Puyo, just use this cheer. It's too funny, alright? I'm being really humorous. Stay hydrated? Indeed. That is a very wise statement. That applies to you, not just me. You stay hydrated too, alright? I know you possibly have that empty water bottle that you don't want to fill up, but you don't want to get up. Go ahead, fill it up, alright? But this match is about to start, so, I cannot blame you if you don't get up to fill up that empty bottle. It's kind of how I feel. My bottle is pretty empty. Here we go into, this is losers round 1, I believe. Yep. Oh, never mind. This is the round 1 of losers bracket, but it's technically round 2. We got another Ocean Prince versus Skidadara here. Battle of the Fish. Yeah, Nero, good player. Coopberry also has some solid chaining prowess. Ooh. Nero has that opening with the yellows in there. Oh, I see what they're up to now. They were able to extend their chain a little bit. Batting on those reds. And Coopberry wasn't ready. Nero takes the first win. Both players opting to not use GTR. Ooh. Coopberry does have a little 3 chain here, but the rest of their chain is very accessible. That's a very That's a very fun chain form to look at. Just how it all fell down so flat. Ooh. Oh no. I thought Nero got an epic dig there, but unfortunately there's nothing to connect with the pieces below. Ooh. Lot. Wow, did somebody say 2-color? Because that was a lot of blues. Blues and purples everywhere. Nero takes advantage of this lack of colors by getting an all clear, but Coopberry makes a much smarter play here. Opts to not go for the juicy all clear. I respect getting the all clear, but when it comes to anything greater than like a 3 or 4 chain, it's a lot easier to just outchain the all clear if your opponent doesn't get it. Another Nero with a lot of these like 3 wide flat Puyos in their chain. This definitely leads to a much more powerful like main chain at the end of the day. However, that also comes the downside of it just being weak to harassments. They're taking advantage of their strong chain here. Oh no, never mind, doesn't have the yellow. And Coopberry just has just enough time to set off their chain. That cut there is going to be devastating. Coopberry with a nice tail here. Getting those reds linked even. Nero's barely able to complete their extension. Not having much time though, and it being a bit more messy here. Makes it close, but just isn't quite enough. Even if so, this follow-up 6 sends off a lot of garbage over to Nero, and they would have needed quite a bit more to truly outchain Coopberry here. Coopberry with a small lead here. It's looking rough for Nero right now. Nero goes for a fake, you know, I don't exactly know this terminology, so I'm just gonna use it. Nero goes with a fake set off, missing one piece for their extension there, or their transition. Unfortunately, that play does not work out here, as Coopberry saw the missing piece, took the time to extend their chain a bit, and Nero just wasn't ready for that response. Good response from Coopberry there. Definitely noticing Coopberry with some very abstract tails here. Yeah, yeah, you just noticed it too. Coopberry, I don't want to say messy, but that's the only way I can think of to describe it. It's not clean, but they work. Look at this. This tail is one off of an all clear, and is able to offset Nero's chain here. Wow. Very good play here. Just Coopberry's chaining abilities are just very impressive. With those pieces there, if I was looking at them correctly, an all clear would have been possible. Neither players are going for it though, because at this higher chain, I mean, it's just not worth it. Coopberry looking like they want to go for an attack here, which they go ahead and do. Ooh, catches Nero off guard. Naru's barely holding on. Very little room to work with here. Kubery's gonna send a 3-chain here. Naru does not have a response here with the little room resources to work with. Kubery makes the pretty hard to make decision to go with the quick attacks while they're up on the board. It can be really hard to do that because you need just the right chains for it to work, otherwise your opponent's gonna offset them every time and eventually dig. At that point your chain might just be too messy for you to offset. Oh, ouch. Naru getting completely knocked out by that harassment there. Kubery takes a strong victory there. That was a really good round. I mean, although Naru's chaining wasn't able to quite keep up, they were definitely keeping a good amount of pressure on Kubery, but in return, Kubery was also leaving a lot of pressure on Naru, taking a lot of harassment victories. Good games there. Unfortunately, that takes Naru out of the brackets. 07. Let's see if I can. Oof. If you hear me making noises like that, it can only mean that I messed something up in Battlefy. Oh, can I get this game? Nope. Okay, this game's been going on for a little bit. I guess I'll just follow loser's bracket. Kubery versus Darnell. I will take a little break once this next game starts. What's going on here? Okay. No lobbies up yet. Gonna stream another losers bracket here. I guess I'm just following this chain now. Once I get done with this match, it will be another losers bracket match. And then grand finals, I believe. Stay tuned for that. I currently have 2 tabs and 2 different matches. Haha. Okay. It's break time. Enjoy this gameplay without commentary for a little bit.
Right choice.
Okay. I return to see. We got losers, semis. Darnold versus Cooper. Darnold's chain gonna cut here with those three greens in column 1. I mean, Cooper unable to generate a response here though. We got a early tie here. My bad. Excuse me. Cooper again with their interesting chain form, while Darnold goes for a GTR. It's interesting to see these different players here. Notice Darnold's just clean, easy to read chain. While Cooper, oh. Unfortunate to see that little attack take out Cooperry there. But if you look at Cooperry's chain, it kind of goes around a lot. There's a lot of like turnarounds and stuff. Lots of stuff that I guess by definition makes the chain not clean. Meanwhile, Darnell is going for a clean sandwich with more sandwich extensions here. Darnell gonna catch that harassment off guard with their open. With their open. What was it? I'm stumbling on words. Oh, with their open transition. There we go. Whew, commentating gold bracket is hard. Cooper going for decisive harassment here. I mean, yeah. Although, despite how improvised Cooper's chain was, while Darnold did generate enough of a response, Cooper definitely could have had that had they built up their chain fast enough, but that's definitely an unreliable play to go for, which, as you can see there, did not end up working out. Ooh, strong chain there, but Darnold did build a bit tall here, up to the point where they can access the chain, but they got a power 7 all clear from Cooper. Able to barely keep themselves alive with that all clear. Definitely having a little fun time with the chain there, Cooper. Really rough here with the bottom rows being garbage. Darnold's tail not quite reaching. Cooper is a good chance here, especially with how they dug. Utilizing those gills in there for a 6 chain, is able to take that round. Darnold not able to reach. Darnold not able to reach their tail. There definitely was bad because Darnold had the space advantage, but not being able to utilize it. Whew. Calls for a rough time, especially when your opponent is just absolutely chilling in their chains. Oops. And another decisive harassment from Cooperry that Darnold is not able to respond to. There's too much garbage there. No options with that piece. All clear start here. Will any players go for a counter setup? Darnold choosing not to. Cooperry going for the last 3 columns. Ending up canceling out each other. Cooperry is definitely going to have to improvise a lot more than Darnold is here. Initially setting up for a counter setup makes it really hard. Makes it a lot more difficult to actually build up your chain. Coupe goes for a small attack here. I don't know if that covered up any of Darno's options. No, with that yellow, they... Ooh. Still able to get their chain off. Barely getting that 7 with the purple drop from up top. That was a statement. Cooper almost looking like they're building GTR, but they're versing that with their unique tailing style. Cooper, I was about to point out how little really options they had other than to set off their chain. They didn't look like they had much other setup. With a strong tail here, Darnold's chain is really going to be challenged here. It looks like they have a strong tail setup. Yeah, it is going to end up out-chaining. Darnold's extensions while Cooper's chain is being set off. Darnold making the right play, getting rewarded for it. Darnold's definitely a player who is hard to punish. I mean, even just that 3 chain, they kept their chain just open enough for both an extension and just to attack. Pretty much anything that Cooper decided to do. Unfortunately, no green there, and Darnold takes the round. That was a that was an exciting match to watch. Both players with very strong chainings. Just Darnold making really good decisions. And definitely having more clean chains allowed them to outchain Cooper when it really mattered. Well played. Oh, Zodiac. What about the Zodiac? Bloodmonger? Okay. I know you. You are happy, alright? I know you. Trying to hide your name. Those who know? Alright. Look. If you don't know what Zodiac... You don't know who says Zodiac in Puyo Puyo. You're gonna have to play some more Puyo Puyo is all I'm gonna say, alright? And even if you do know who says Zodiac, I mean, come on, just play more Puyo Puyo. It's a great choice. Okay, moving up to winners. Losers finals. Say your full legal name. Okay, Patrick Lopke. Got him! Exposed! I know, name leak, super... Super, you know, there's... You just know how little Patricks there are out there. Hey, you asked to be doxxed, alright? Just that's what I'm doing in my defense, alright? You wanted me to do it. You know, what if you sued me for not doing it? Alright. Oh man, name leak in a stream with 5 viewers? How many people are even viewing this stream? I got it exactly right. 5 people are currently watching. One of those is me, because I'm on the stream. Got some beef here, I guess. What are we doing? This is a Carbuncles Corner stream. We're supposed to be happy jolly watching Puyo Puyo. There's a lobby up. Eee! Wait, what? Where? Hiku, oh, Hiku. Ha 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 ha. Show me the T-spin.
Cue the music.
What, you're in the stream twice, Block of Ice Bug Fables? I mean, come on. No shot. No, we can't. Please don't. Okay, alright.
Let's make this
Sorry,
fun.
I was gonna go crazy if we had to see 2 Skidadors. Okay, Hiku, both player. Oh yeah, quite a contrast from some of these past few games. We got a double GTR here. It's been a little bit since we've seen this. Again, a chain form that's commonly seen. Always recommended to new players, and not for a good reason. It's a strong chain form. Hiku going for the full chain here. And Hiku is making the right play here with a strong 13 chain. Wow. Darnell, if I were to assume anything, it's that Darnell was focusing on some kind of attack and Hiku just catched it. Or caught it. GTR on the right. Are you sure it's not you, Celestial Squid? Is that not you playing? You could be hiding it. Master of Deception. Anyways, Hiku is much less on an attacking side here, but
Here. Very good.
I was about to say Darnell also not being very aggressive, but that was a triple power there. Oh my goodness. Hiku again with another strong chain, gets a 13 all clear.
Shiny purple. Heavenly sphere. Heavenly sphere. Heavenly sphere.
Darnell not able to keep up with that
That hurt.
really strong chain.
I won't.
That was a lot. That was a lot. That was a big chain. Let me just say, if I was Darnell, I'd be shaking in my boots and I'd be going for some early attacks here. Let's see if Darnell makes the play. If they switch up their playstyle. Definitely looking like they're attacking less. Here they go. They're starting off with a power 2.
Here.
Hiku's chain here just is really does not take that harassment well at all. Darnell's board with no resources. Takes out Hiku with a few basic attacks. I mean, really, that was just one attack. Sometimes one is all you need. Marble.
Here.
Hiku again going with a much more chaining playstyle here, but
Here.
you know,
Very good.
it's like the players hear me and they're like, alright, I won't play how I think you're playing. Instead of saying that, Hiku going for an attack anyways. But Darnold catches it. Hiku, despite that attack, still manages a 12 chain. Hiku is on fire with these chains. And I was thinking Darnold was being really adaptive. But Hiku just... I mean, they just keep their chains so strong. Along with being... with being really adaptable. This is getting really tough to follow. The skill levels just get increased more and more as I look down here. Hiku going for a 3-chain here. Oh, Darnold not quite able to keep up. Definitely has a potential to dig here, but gets 2 purples in a row? Now that's just annoying. A few pieces of garbage is all it's needed to take out Hiku's. I wasn't really paying attention to their form there, but definitely dangerous if it was just taken out by, like, not even a full row. Hiku getting a little overconfident there. Goes for a small poke. Both players are very high on their chaining structure. And not much room to really do basic extensions here. Darnold goes ahead and sets off their chain. Hiku is a pretty good situation here. Ooh. Okay. Darnold's in a very rough spot. Ooh. You know, Darnold, I can't say I respect that play. I mean, you had a lot of resources to work with that, and just giving up there instead of at least just trying. But, you know, I do feel it to some degree. Sometimes you just don't feel like dealing with that. There's always the next round. Darnold setting up a strong transition here. Not going for vital plays that they need. I mean, they kind of did just let Hiku build up their chain. Darnold's getting a little bit more time to work on their chain. It won't matter with Hiku's efficiency. Despite Darnold having more time to build up their chain, Hiku still outchains just because a lot of Darnold's pieces weren't able to fit into their chain. Darnold needs to switch up their playstyle as soon as they can. How they're playing now, they're at a clear chaining disadvantage. Hiku, as long as Darnold plays like they are, Hiku can just kind of do what they want and just win. Darnold seeing a very rough dig here. And gets taken out by Hiku. Denies Darnold that dig. This is a very rough spot for Darnold. I mean, if Darnold isn't able to adapt, I'm sound like a broken record right now because it's just I'm just trying to fill in something to say while my brain's still trying to process this match. Darnold really just needs to switch up their playstyle. There's not really... I don't really have much more to say here, because... I mean, just every round, it's just simply proven that Hiku just outchains Darnold at every possible moment. Darnold gets the all clear here. It takes a little bit of extra time, but Hiku's transition is very open here, and yeah, getting that all clear set off there really puts Darnold at advantage.
Here. Very good.
Darnold getting a consecutive all clear. A plus for those style points. Despite Hiku's best efforts to dig, it's just not quite enough.
That was a
Darnold's all clear play definitely gives insight to how Darnold really just needs to attack Hiku and disrupt them from building their chain. While they are building a lot safer for this specific chain, from what I noticed on the all clear chain, I mean they were building really unsafe. The transition was just so easy to attack. Ooh, Darnold going for this nice power 2 chain. Ooh, Hiku unable to conjure a response.
circular game.
Darnold does go for the full chain, but not enough time for Hiku to
Here.
dig down, get their chain set up.
Fun battle.
Ooh, wave of tiredness just fell over me.
Hey, this is getting fun.
Yeah, and I'm struggling in this battle. I'm not even playing. Stop that.
Here.
Darnold gets an actually very nice
Here.
attack onto Hiku here. Covering up their counter setup even. Hiku does ready. Does ready? Hiku's definitely ready with more follow-ups. And digs down to their back to their counter setup. Being enough to take out Darnold. Hiku brings it to match point. Darnold can still turn it around. Every time Darnold has been aggressive, they've been able to take out Hiku. Hiku does not have a safe victory here, despite the score difference. Hiku making a change here and actually attacking themselves. But from what we've seen before, Hiku's very good at keeping their chain in...
Very good.
What's the word? I'm struggling with words today.
Pastel orb. Shiny bubble. Heavenly
Intact. Hiku's still keeping their chain intact. Gets a power 10. Hiku's tail is going to need to be really strong here. Which is exactly what they need. Takes out Darnold.
lose next time.
Try not to fall in love.
Hiku takes the round. In my honest opinion, I did hurt me a little that Darnold was not going for different play styles, but they were still playing really well. I have to give Darnold that. Very good gameplay from these players. Okay. Whew. I did have 2 exams today. Long day. Things are rough. Hiku dips down into losers, but immediately gets back up, and we'll see grand finals. Seeing the Seed 1 and Seed 2 in grand finals. Gonna put my whole humble, honest opinion out there, but a little anticlimactic, I mean. The expected outcome happening just isn't quite as interesting, but not that we won't see some exciting gameplay. I mean, that at the very least is guaranteed. Okay, we'll go ahead and join this lobby. Okay, I need some water. I need to hydrate.
Cue the music.
Love conquers all.
Back just in time to see grand finals of Gold Bracket begin. We've got Void, a returning champion, versus Hiku. A player I have not seen before personally, but has been making very strong plays this tournament. Void is a very strong player. Voice crack. Void is a very strong player, but seeing how Hiku is playing here, they definitely stand a chance. Void is currently taking advantage of Hiku's weakness of building a bit more flat, being more vulnerable to harassments. Having a nice setup here to still get their chain. Void with a strong 9 chain here. Oh, Hiku's tail not connecting with the GTR. Unfortunate to see happen, but Void does take the first round here. Void with a interesting sandwich into sideways sandwich. I have used this form myself, but more commonly seen in GTR. Void going with some strong attacks, quick pokes, thorns in fact they're officially called. Hiku succumbs to all this pressure.
See you next time.
Void just not letting down. Just pulling tons of strong attacks here. I mean, I have to take a little breath here. This is hard. Back to it. So Void playing some kind of like sandwich here. Doing a triple 2 chain. Hiku does catch it though and ends up setting off not quite their full chain, but a big stack on top of them. Takes a round off Void. You know, Footlong is definitely a great name for sideways sandwich, and I will now be using that from now on. Void with the Footlong. Hiku also with the even longer Footlong, being 3 Puyos instead of 2. Wow, Void. I didn't see that as an extension. I thought that was a harassment. Void just continuing to build off and off of their chain here, and unfortunately not getting the colors they need. Unable to set off their possibly unnecessary chain. I don't know if they needed to go that far, but I commend the effort. Void with a Footlong, Hiku also with a Footlong, in the same spot with the same colors too. Actually, both these players' boards are super similar. Both set off a power chain involving. I mean, just take a look at how their GTR is set up. It's Oh man, but Void just
See you next time.
Void just has these consistent barrages. Just gives Hiku no room to dig at all. Another footlong from Void. From Hiku as well. Hiku getting the transition before Void does. That garbage does. No, it's not quite as bad. Ooh, that 2 chain is definitely going to be a lot more powerful than just a 1. Void with options though. Ooh. Rough for Void there. Hiku gets a strong chain there. Strong little harassment. Takes out Void. We're off to a tie here. Void showed some strong early attacks here, but Hiku seems to have gotten a little used to it. Void with a little attack here. Hiku with a 2 chain. Void over here with a 3. Hiku not ready. Void is gonna show again their constant barrages here. Takes on the victory here with his attacks.
See you next time.
Void just definitely goes for 1 attack. If the attack lands and blocks out the chain, Void continues setting off all of their chains in just these just a really nice broken up way that just doesn't let you get any room to do anything. Ooh, Hiku in a rough spot with their GTR. Ooh, did not notice just how much garbage is up there.
See you next time.
Void taking another lead here. Here we have an all clear start.
I feel the love.
Another player. Okay. Neither player's. Something I've noticed. Even though I see counter setups happen every single time in pretty much any other Puyo gameplay. Just these Carbuncles corners here. I mean, no one goes for all clear counter setups. I can only wonder why. I go for them as much as I can personally. Is there something weak to them that I'm missing? Or are they just difficult and people don't bother with them? Oh, Hiku, looking like they made a mistake there. Void is going to be able to offset that, and with a follow-up here. Instead of immediately setting off their chain, Void notices Hiku is doing fine here with their chain. Chooses to extend, but the chain cuts in so many places. Void's tail no longer works. Hiku outchains there. Well played on Hiku, despite having all that garbage on there, was still able to pull out their transition and extend it out. Hiku's still going for this GTR, while Void going for L shape. Void making a lot of thinking here. Making a lot of thinking. Void doing a lot of thinking right now. Void definitely had a lot of harassment options here, but he's getting punished for it right now with how Hiku just set off their chain. Probably noticed Void just didn't have much large chain ready, and the 13 chain takes out Void. Void just being in such a rough spot, being unable to extend that. The only choice was to extend something that they just really couldn't. Hiku almost looking like they're going AFK there for a second. Lots of thinking on that choice. Notices Hiku's chain cuts. It's a 9 chain. Hiku barely gets their chain back up and running again though. Suddenly the tail is really strong. Which it is, in fact, almost an all-through. Hiku brings it back to another tie. This match being very close. Void definitely toning it down on these harassments lately. I mean, either that or Hiku is just ready for them. Hiku might be more sensitive to their chain being setting off their full chain to counter these harassments. Hiku going for an attack themselves. Definitely makes it a little harder for Void to access any options. So if you're trading 2 chains here, Void goes for a quick little harassment there while my screen goes dark. Oh, Void going for these attacks again and takes out Hiku just one by one in these little chain bursts. We got a dual GTR here. Void setting up a flat tail. Meanwhile, Hiku... Despite getting attacked almost, Hiku is still able to get their chain up. Strong tail here too, but not quite able to get those blues to connect. Oh wow! Stacking those reds and yellows on top of each other, Void was able to make their GTR work. And barely out chains. Hiku unable to make a response here. Void taking another little lead here, but we've seen Hiku. Hiku has brought this match to a tie twice now. So we know Hiku still has a fighting chance. Hiku going for an aggressive attack here, but Void not quite building too flat. Oh, that attack there, even though that was just a 1 chain, that actually completely blocked Void's plan. He was able to finish off with an extra power 2. Definitely more of an off GTR setup here from Void. You know, Hiku going for some other chain form. Ooh, Hiku sees their chance to set off their... not quite their full chain, actually. Despite that not being a full chain, still 7. Void sees that cut, though. Is able to set off their chain of their own. Hiku running out of time here, but is able to set off. Oh, unfortunately, those yellows cutting off, not allowing the tail to work. Void bringing it to match point in grand finals here. Hiku being ever so close to winning that last match. They're definitely... oh, they're just so close, but man, Void just makes these interesting plays that just work out. I'm running out of words to say. Not gonna lie, I'm struggling to keep my O's open right now. Void going for a 3-chain attack here. Hiku looking like they have some kind of counter setup here, but
Melody sphere.
Void gives him no time of day to dig and takes the set.
See you next time.
A very highly skilled match. I mean, both players building very high chains, attacking really well, keeping their chains orderly while attacking, and doing really nice follow-ups. Very well played. Yeah, good games. Oh wow. That was a lot. That was a lot. Wow, gold brackets. Like, last time I streamed silver bracket, I found it kind of wild just how much harder it is to just pay attention to gold bracket. It's just, I mean, I enjoyed this so much. This, such good gameplay here. I mean, ooh, I don't really know what else to say. Well played, everyone in gold bracket. That was some good gameplay. As for the stream, well, I guess now the gold bracket's done. I suppose that's all for me then, probably. I'm definitely too tired to keep going with something else. Yeah, was late to churning a little bit. Missed first 2 rounds, but that's fine. We got gold bracket covered mostly. Yeah, good matches. Feel free to check out the other streams. I don't know if they're actually still going. It looks like Juice's stream still has some games going, so be sure to check those out if you want to see more of this tourney. That's all for my stream though. Shout out to English Puyo community, I guess. Feel free to join that server. If you want to see these Carbuncles corners, there is a Carbuncle corner server.